Welcome back on the channel, guys. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra running with the Snapdragon 8 Elite specifically for Galaxy. We know it's an overclock version versus the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max using the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Yeah, rather long name, guys. In this video I'm going to put them to a brutal test. The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max has 68% of a battery, the S25 Ultra 68% of a battery. No SIM card is installed in both phones. They're both connected to the very same Wi-Fi network. Also, I'm going to be using the adaptive brightness on both phones, alright? So the phones themselves will control the brightness. The first thing we are going to do, we're going to open the CPU thermal throttling test, and I'm going to change the default setting from 20 threads to 100 threads to just make it a bit more tougher for the phones. Everything's set the same. All right, so let me just close this for a moment. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to play a 4K 60 FPS HDR video in a picture-to-picture mode. All right, so let me just go and choose the highest available resolution. All right, okay. Let's now open the CPU throttling test in a pop-up window. All right, I'm gonna do it like this. I started the test on the S25 Ultra and the test has started also on the Xiaomi. I'm going to be measuring some temps. All right, 37 Celsius for the Xiaomi at the moment, 36.8. And now, guys, I'm gonna start CarX. Okay, this is gonna be the toughest part. Now I entered the game, and now, guys, we are going to be playing for a bit. Now let's just try to check some temps also with my thermal camera. It says that it's almost like 50 Celsius, guys, here at the center. This is close to the camera. Wow, 49. What about the Xiaomi? Let's check this area here. Seems to be the hottest one. Woo, okay, 58 already, all right. So now let's try to see how much FPS can the Xiaomi 17 Pro pump with this. Okay, 59, you can see 58. I want to make sure that the test is running. All right, let me just run it. Okay, now the test is running. This is difficult on a small screen like this, but it's not impossible. Oh my God. Yeah, probably already starting to throttle, guys. But no, back to 49 FPS, something like that, 52 FPS. Will now the phone crash? Let's check some temps. 46 here for the Xiaomi 17 Pro. 44 for my S25 Ultra. All right, let's try to check the S25 Ultra. What can the S25 Ultra deliver? Oh my God, 15 FPS. It's not ideal. Can the S25 Ultra recover a bit? Oh my God, not really. Okay, 18 FPS. What about the Xiaomi, guys? Oh my God. OMG, I think the Xiaomi already throttling heavily. It's like a slideshow. We can also see it from this graph here, guys. What is happening? The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, is it overheating, guys? Let's try to measure some temp, by the way. Oh, in the center we have 56, guys. So it's already getting very hot. Let's see what happens here with the S25 Ultra. 54 Celsius, guys. Okay, so this is the S25 Ultra. I think the hottest spot on the front, 53 to 55. The Xiaomi definitely running hotter, 56.7 in the center. Oh no, it is now an absolute slideshow. Oh no, 45 FPS. Okay, it's pumping some more power, guys. We can see the blue graph and then throttling again. Now we are back with 20 FPS. This is getting a slideshow, and I think also the screen is a tiny bit dimmer than the S25 Ultra. It is an absolute slideshow on my Xiaomi 17 Pro. It's giving like 10 to 20 FPS. By the way, the game is using the highest graphical settings. It's absolutely not playable. Let's check what happens here on the graph. It's throttling like hell. What about the S25 Ultra, guys? So the S25 Ultra, like a boss, 16 to 20 FPS, but we are still in the green. Okay. Maybe the S25 Ultra is winning this. Let me know, guys, what you think down below in the comments. But it seems that the S25 Ultra pumping 20 FPS on the game, and it's absolutely not throttling like this. We can see this, and it's able to sustain more brightness for sure, guys. See here, like how bright this thing is. We now know the brightness. No, let's pump the brightness on the Xiaomi. Let's try to pump it, but no, even with the pumped brightness, guys. You know what? I'm gonna also try to pump the brightness on the S25 Ultra. It was already like on the maximal brightness, guys. All right, so let's try to continue. Let's see the Xiaomi. Come on, Xiaomi, give me something. Give me something. 30 FPS. All right, where is this test? Okay, let me just make like this so that we can see the FPS. 5 FPS. It's not playable. And I think we are severely throttling here, which is a pity, by the way. Let's try to see what happens with the temp gun. It's 46.7 and 44. Now let's try to check with this thing here. We're checking the center temperature, guys. 57. Okay, what about the S25 Ultra? Okay, 55, about the same. Let's try to see what happens on the back, because oh my god, the Xiaomi is very hot, but the S25 Ultra is also hot. 59 Celsius in the center. This is this reading here. The Xiaomi highest temp is here. It's 57, right? 57, 55. So stop the test. Okay, now the test is running. I'm gonna stop it and start it again. Okay, restarted the test. Okay, now let's try again the S25 Ultra. Yeah, the S25 Ultra is giving me a playable output. Not sure how it's doing it. It's pumping, guys. 29 FPS. It's not so playable, as you can see, but it's able to output the YouTube video, and I think it's actually in HDR and it's still playable. Let's check the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. You can see the CPU throttling graph is all red. So I think it's explaining why. Absolutely throttling with this combination. Anyway, the CPU throttling test is not working very good on the Xiaomi 17 Pro, and it's a very old application, guys, so this might be something in common, but you can see here that it's throttling absolutely. And okay, now it's giving me 29 FPS. Nah, 11 FPS. It tries to recover, but then it immediately throttles again. Yeah, on the front is really very hot. According to the thermal camera, it's 58 already. And on the S25 Ultra, guys, 54. So definitely the Xiaomi is running hotter. Let's check the S25 Ultra again. Handles this like a boss. Yeah, you can see it's almost playable here with like 20 FPS. Definitely the S25 Ultra is able to do these three things. All right, and I just think it could be that the CPU throttling test isn't somehow configured so good, because I just cannot accept this performance. You know what, let's just go full screen here. Can we go full screen? I just want to check something. Let's go full screen with this test, guys. I want to see something. Let me just go here and the options. 100 threads, 100 threads. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do right now, guys? Let's just try to put the CPU throttling test just like this, okay, without even playing the game, okay, just like this with the YouTube video on top. All right, let's start a test just like that, guys, with the YouTube video. Okay, we can see this test is somehow absolute. Whoa, so this 25 Ultra struggled for a bit, but see here, guys, somehow it's able to output, yeah, okay, circle the same in GIPS. Let's just try to measure some temps. 47.2. All right, 44. Definitely the 17 Pro Max just running hotter. It's the same story, guys. 8 to 12 FPS. So the Xiaomi 17 Pro definitely struggling. when you need to play CarX and watch a YouTube video at the same time, and also do a CPU throttling test. Now the S25 Ultra definitely handling this better like a champ. So let's go inside 3D Mark and let's do a wildlife extreme stress test. 46.2 for the 17 Pro Max and 43.5 with the temp gun on the surface. Oh my god, 58 for the Xiaomi. Let's try to check my S25 Ultra. 55. All of them are really getting very hot. Let's check some temps. We are ready in round number 3. 49.7 for the Xiaomi. The heat from the inside is coming through. 43.4 for the S25 Ultra, guys. Let's try to see what happens with the thermal camera. 61 Celsius. I can tell you, this is here around the notch on the front camera, and here, guys, we have 55. And we can already see that the Xiaomi are severely throttling the other tests, but they're giving at least 4 to 5 FPS more in some areas in 3D Mark. So it's different to check that comparison as well at the end, if they of course are able to survive to the end, because right now I'm thinking, yeah, oh my god, we have 51.3 on the surface for the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, and guys, the S25 Ultra 43. With the performance mode, I think the Xiaomi is trying to pump the maximum. Let's check with the thermal camera. 62 Celsius. You can see this is the center point here. All right, and the maximum somewhere 60. Oh my god, it's getting crazier, guys. And let's try to see the S25 Ultra. It's 55. What is impressive is that the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is still not getting the overheat message, which we've seen in so many other Xiaomi phones in the recent years. You can see on the surface, guys, more than 51 Celsius. And here, guys, it's balanced, 43. And by the way, I'm using +2 Celsius from Thermal Guardian. The S25 Ultra just so much more conservative, guys, which is good, because heat is going to destroy the internals. It's going to degrade the quality of your battery, the capacity of your battery. It's going to degrade all the other components, right? So running at like 51 Celsius is not a good thing, right? And the S25 Ultra definitely being way more conservative, and probably also, yeah, not delivering the same performance, at least in 3D Mark, in real time FPS, is not necessarily something bad. But you can see that the S25 Ultra is almost like a slideshow, and the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is almost like doubling the frame rate. So FPS here you can see 16, 13, 10. So definitely 17 Pro Max with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 really has a lot of power. Okay, maybe 10-15% really, as Qualcomm said when they launched the 8 Gen chip, but it's also consuming a lot of energy and it heats up very quickly. Okay, I think the Xiaomi is trying to tone down, guys. 51 on the surface, 43.1 on the S25 Ultra. This is the Xiaomi, all right? In the center point, we have 62, okay? 62, yeah, 62, and probably even some hotter areas, but here around the notch, it's 62. What about the S25 Ultra, guys? Center point is 55. It's running like 7-8 degrees lower. The S25 Ultra is outputting here more than 200 GIPS, and the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is throttling the CPU throttling test, and it's only giving us below 100 GIPS, thus being able to balance a bit more performance for the 3D Mark, which I think we can see in the real-time FPS. You can see here, guys, right? It's almost like double. So somehow it seems that S25 Ultra and Samsung are putting more priority in this case for this application, which is again in the pop-up window, and the Xiaomi decided probably to allocate more performance and raw power to the one running on the full screen. Again, I'm not sure, I'm only guessing here. The good thing is that both phones are still here, none of them crashed, which is extremely good news. And you can see that the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is giving almost like double the FPS in the 3D Mark, and I think it's only because it has limited the CPU throttling test to below 100 GIPS, and here the S25 Ultra is using more resources to pump up in the CPU throttling test. But the good news is YouTube video is playing for all of them. I'm just thinking, guys, since I'm doing this test only in Wi-Fi, maybe on 5G they've been already dead. But okay, I just wanted to see how they will perform only on Wi-Fi, no SIM inside both phones. Alright, round number 15, 51 Celsius for the Xiaomi 17 Pro, and yeah, 43, 44 for the S25 Ultra. By the way, the S25 Ultra screen also seems a tiny bit bright. Let's check the thermal camera on the Xiaomi. Center readings 63.4 Celsius, which is a lot. The very same section here, guys, on the S25 Ultra, 56. But you know what I'm gonna do? Let me just turn the phones on the back for a moment. Let's see what is the situation. Oh my god, I can barely touch the Xiaomi. It's very, very hot. Okay, let's check here the Xiaomi. OMG. 66, maybe this is the hottest area. 68 for the Xiaomi. Wow, we can see. And what happens with the S25 Ultra? The S25 Ultra, the hottest area is here. And it is 59. Yeah. So the S25 Ultra running 4 to 8 degrees lower. We are in round number 20. This is the last round, and it seems that both phones have a very good chance in surviving. Okay, the Xiaomi at 51 and the S25 Ultra and 43.8. Let's check also with the thermal camera. Center point here at 67 degrees. What about the S25 Ultra, guys? 55. Yeah, 55, I guess, throughout the whole phone. And the Xiaomi on the front, I think anyway the hottest area is here around, wow, it has 64, 63, and this is kind of the hottest area. Yeah, running definitely hotter. And ta-da, the benchmark is running. Please don't touch your device. Very good stability rating from the S25 Ultra. Oh, and the Xiaomi now is also going to give us a result. Okay. I can barely touch it, so hot it is. Let me just try to stop this. All right. So, stability. The S25 Ultra handled this like a champ. Best loop score is not far away from the lowest loop score, thus delivering a very good stability rating. The Xiaomi was struggling. But what is important to see is that it achieved a higher loop score, the best one, and also the lowest loop score is a bit higher than what we see on the S25 Ultra, but the S25 Ultra just being a bit more stable. Battery from 57 to 46, here from 51 to 41, and you can see the temperature stayed the same. The S25 Ultra was already maxed out, I think, and the Xiaomi got a bit more reserve and it went from 46 to 51, which wasn't a very nice thing to do, I guess. But this is the reality, guys. The good news is that both phones survive, and apparently the S25 Ultra is still a very good fighter with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and it's a bit more balanced, and most probably, guys, this is going to be still a very good phone in the next 2 years at least to come, because the S26 Ultra is going to be very similar. All right, let me know, guys, what you think down below in the comments. Stay safe, VST over and bye.